recording this from the privy. The shelter I'm in is a little bit noisy because of the tin roof and the fact that it's continually raining from the trees mostly. Not a very nice day. I was actually going to go. There were a couple other groups, 2 and 4 or 5 people who were doing some hiking, and one of them left a big bottle of trail mix and about 4 or so protein bars for me this morning. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, they left the Tupperware container that the bars were in and the plastic container that the peanuts were in. I said, I don't know about that. I might cut that one down and carry that out. Of the 2 other ThruHikers that came last night, the one who was faster, I can't remember his name. He's the guy with the hamburger from a couple days ago. He's still there now. I think he's staying for the day. It's like 9:30, almost 10 o'clock. And the other one, he kind of made me feel like I should stay, and then he decided to go half an hour later. I think it's going into the town Rutherford or whatever it is, Radcliffe or whatever it is. Just another 9 miles on. Now, my thinking was I was originally going to do, I think, like 21 miles today, but it was over mountains called the Saddleback Mountains, which are 2 peaks that very close to one another that break the 4,000 foot barrier and above the tree line. And there was one warning saying that, if there's bad weather, don't cross there. And I was thinking of Washington. It's not like it's really windy and it's rainy, and it's going to be rainy all day. It's like, and I thought, okay, reason one not to go over. Didn't need a lot. And there's a shelter just past the town. That would be about 10 miles. And after a little bit of a hill, it's mostly downhill to the town and up a little bit to the shelter. So it wouldn't be a bad walk, but I thought, well, it does say it's a popular one. And I think people who are leaving town would be going there. And it's not a very big one. So great possibility that it would be full. And I don't know what day like this. I don't want to risk that. It's going to be wet all day. I doubt it will get nicer by the end of the day, but it's supposed to be nice tomorrow, according to the weather. So I will push tomorrow morning early, hopefully, and go over the Saddleback. And it'll be like a 21-mile day, so it'll be, yesterday was, I think, about a 21-mile day. And we didn't get started till 9, and I got here just early enough to make dinner before it got dark. So, and it was a 2,000 foot climb out of the parking lot. I think it'll be 2,500 to 3,000 feet that I have to head out from that next gap over Saddleback Mountain. You can hear the rain. So it'll be tougher. And hopefully it won't be really technical. I'll have to read some get comments. Maybe somebody will mention something about it. I'll show you the weather outside. Not that I can see much. I don't think anyone's waiting for the preview here. That family of 4, they were camped at the tent just south there, not south, but below a bit. The shelter. They may well packed up and headed out, for all I know. Like those type of people sometimes. I'm not really happy with the decision. It's September 2nd. Probably not going to get much warmer. But it is pretty damp, and it's supposed to be sunny and then wet again the following day. So I really got to get through the Saddlebacks and to Carlisle or whatever town I'm going to resupply. I have to find some kind of hostel there and spend at least a night and resupply for the next push, which will probably take me to that really good resupply, I think, nights before the 100-mile wilderness, I'm guessing. No, I got the day I should probably go through this stuff on GetHook. I think Fudge had told me that if you average 13 miles a day, or 15 miles a day, 14, you'll be out in 13 days. So today's gonna screw that, but that means mid-September for sure. If I don't have material stocks like this bad weather day that get in my way. And I also will be re-uploading one video from a couple days ago. There was a bunch of video I realized after I uploaded it that was missing before we got to the pickup point where it hitched into that town and Andover. And then I found it this morning when I edited the video. I should probably edit the video too. I don't have music or anything on it right now. Little things I can do while I'm just sitting around doing nothing. There's not much to do. I'm not very talkative. So I'll head back. I'll maybe edit those videos again and figure out where my resupply points are and what the next couple days are going to be like. I just don't want weather like this. I could walk it. I've done it. I just don't want to walk it if I can avoid it. And this will probably be the last time I do avoid it like this. I've got to press 7. I've got to get going. And there should be fewer people in the shelter this week. It's September now. People are back in school. It's less likely people are on holiday. And there are going to be fewer hikers going north and definitely going south. So I'll talk to you later.
I don't want to go back to that job. But
They treat you like absolute garbage.
What job?
it's we're both brewers by trade, and
Oh,
so
that's pretty cool.
it's at a 10-barrel microbrewery in Sacramento, and you know, like
It's run by horrible people.
it's run by horrible people, but you know, I made pretty good money. I made pretty okay money, and the thing with me coming back is like. Captain's due for a pay raise. So it's really one of those things where it's like, well, how badly do you want me back, Alex? And then it's like, I would go back and then like actively seek a new job. Feed that beast.
Sometimes, yeah, alcohol can sometimes do that, and then sometimes you're just like,
Yeah, I feel like it does depend. It totally does
yeah,
depend. Yeah.
depending. Well, if there's not that much elevation gain, then it definitely does make you go fast. Because you're like, hiking's
Yeah,
the best!
right. You're just happy hiking. I was like, this is great.
But if there's elevation and your heart rates, you're like, ooh.
Yeah,
There's a lot of carbonation in the stomach at the moment, too.
that burp was nice. Yeah.
Hey, we're trying to hitch to your place. He's like, do you want to get in the car?
I'm like,
yeah.
He's so nice.
He's the greatest.
And then Hawkeye, the guy that he was actually coming to pick up to take back to Monson, we were like, oh yeah, like we'll just split
He had
like whatever.
paid for the
and
shuttle.
we got there and he's like, no, you're fine. Here's a little trail magic because he had just finished, and so he paid for our drive. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I was like, he was like leaving to get his car. I'm like, hey man, we're gonna split this thing. He's like, no, don't worry about it.
Oh my god, oh man.
And we had summited with him. We'd walked up with him, and so he was a chill dude.
I have his Instagram. I want to thank him again.
Yeah, we should.
Hawkeye was a Northbounder?
Yeah, he was Northbounder.
Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Actually, our whole grain carbohydrates.
Super sharp.
Okay.
Yeah, the ones that are really, really crunchy.
Yes. Yeah. They come in like two like thin bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are one of my staple foods. I don't get sick of them, especially the oat and honey ones, because I find that they're like, they don't really taste like anything. They kind of just are like a sweet cracker, and by the time you finish eating it, it's done, and you're like, huh,
I guess
that was food.
I go in for their granola.
Yeah.
That's
But
what
I mean, but their bars are basically granola.
I know you just crumple them up. I probably should do that. It's probably like more cost efficient to do it
You
that
just
way.
crunch it in the thing and then
Yeah.
pour it in your mouth.
Oh, yeah, popcorn. But he puts it on his oatmeal. He does
I do oatmeal and granola every morning.
Yeah.
That's my shit.
And then, so I found that that's like the perfect mixture for me is like a little bit of fat and protein, quick carbohydrates and then like a fattier carbohydrate or a longer burning carbohydrate for breakfast.
Yeah.
And then I'll do like a big protein bar as my mid-morning snack, or a big piece of jerky, like a full bag or half of one of those big bags.
Yeah.
And that'll hold me through to like lunch, which I have around 1:30 or 2 usually.
Okay.
Which is like either peanut butter and honey on a tortilla, or or like meat and cheese on a tortilla.
I haven't done peanut butter and honey yet.
That shit is delicious.
It is. That's what I eat that
You can't
every day.
overdo it though. And that RX bar makes these like nut butter packets that are like nut butter times protein, and it's like peanut butter, almond butter, plus some flavoring, plus an egg white, and so it really boosts the calorie count. It's really way too sticky to eat on its own. But if you have it with some honey or with some dried fruit in there, it's fucking delicious. And they're 200 calories for this little thing.
So can I get them at like a Walmart?
I think so. I've seen them at Walmart. The cinnamon sugar peanut butter one.
Oh.
It tastes like cake. It's so good. And it's really good for you.
They're the RX bars.
RX bar peanut butter. Or it's like called like power butter or something like that.
Okay.
But yeah.
Oh my god. Alright.
Yeah.
I need something to switch up for snacks.
Yeah. They're fucking delicious. And then, yeah, I try to do then like more like dried fruit and nuts and like whole foods now, because I've gotten so burned out on candy and bars, especially. Like I cannot keep with them. I just can't. I have one in my bag right now that I've been carrying for like 1,000 miles. And I keep them in my bag because I'm like, this is emergency food.
You don't have to plan to eat it. But
Yeah. And then I also do a bunch of those like, you know, like the put your oat bars that you would put in your lunchbox as like a kid that are like the chocolate chip granola bars or whatever. They're tiny. They're like 100 calories.
Yes, yeah.
I'll usually buy a box of those and chuck them in, or a box of Velveeta's.
Okay, yeah.
Just like a little quick burning but not candy carbohydrate snack. I like notate them in my food planning as carb bars. Because they're just like a quick, like, I need to get over this mountain.
Yeah, exactly. Instant energy.
And it's not candy. It might as well be candy, but it doesn't taste like candy. And so I'm not gonna just like sit in my bag and like eat all of them. Oh yeah. And then yeah, I always pack out like a package of M&Ms and a candy bar per day. So like right now I'm doing peanut M&Ms and Milky Way bars. But I also often will do Snickers or like
Twix and Kit Kats.
Kit Kats I find don't have a high enough calorie count.
They're not, yeah.
I always try to do something that at least has peanuts.
So once in 7th grade.
Yeah, Twix and Snickers.
Yeah, and then for dinners I do, well, when I can hiker box myself a mountain house.
She did.
And sometimes I'll buy one for like, yeah, and then North sides with that like packaged chicken that you can buy in the ethnic foods aisle. The quote-unquote ethnic foods aisle. I feel so bad whenever I say it, but like, you can, it's either in the Mexican section or sometimes it's next to the tuna. It's like this packaged cooked chicken that comes in a package like tuna.
Okay. Oh, I think
Like Chicken Creations?
I've seen that brand, but not recently. But you can also get them, they're also called like Chiorio or something.
something is there.
Yeah, they're not always there, but I really like to get those when I can, add that to North side. Or some of those like smoked sausages that you can get, add that to like the Spanish rice North side. And I usually carry out either butter or oil to add to my dinner. Sometimes do mac and cheese, although I'm starting to burn out on it. I always carry cheese to add to that if I have it, because it makes it so much more palatable. Or super potatoes.
Or super potatoes.
Which is the mayonnaise, cheese, potato, super potatoes. Dude, it's the best. I love super potatoes.
And it's the potatoes, add the cheese while you're boiling the water so it melts.
So I always boil the water first, then add the potato, and then add the cheese at the same time. So while the water's boiling, chop up the cheese really small.
Okay.
So that you don't get the big greasy chunks.
Okay.
And then add the mayonnaise or oil right before you eat it.
I'm totally gonna do that.
Yeah. If you get like an extra mayo packet too, oh man, like 2 in there, and then like a little hot sauce.
Oh shit, Tabasco or like the I've been meaning to get like a thing of
Taco Bell fire sauce, baby.
Oh, I have Little tapatio on trail.
Oh man, tapatio's the best. I actually
I
like
can get some dried
chili flakes too. Yeah.
Oh, with garlic. Oh shit, that's
I
next
got a bottle
level.
of it.
Yeah.
Or you can pack out hot peppers. They actually keep pretty well.
Okay.
And just add those. Actually, I will still eat ramen if I have hot peppers.
I got hot peppers. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been doing green onions. I have like a thing of green onions to chop into ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you can buy the instant miso soup mix plus green onions and hot peppers in ramen is really good.
Oh, as soon as it's a base.
Yeah. Instead of using the ramen packet.
These are great.
Vegetables are. I mean.
Or you can
you
buy
do,
the like
carrot
instant
apples,
tomato
that's
sauce
crazy.
powder,
You can make-
and then add
Huh?
cheese to
Green
the ramen,
onions.
and then make like
You know, you can
instant
just
cheesy
chop
noodles.
it up.
Yeah.
And then
It's like
Shit.
Yeah, it's just
Oh my god. You need to help me remember these.
I'm sorry. I'm writing them down.
You do have to add a little bit of mashed potatoes to the tomato sauce one because it almost never has thickeners in it. It's just
Okay.
like tomato flavor.
Okay.
And so then you get like weird tomato soup ramen, and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
mm-mm.
This is good. You know what I thought? Oh my god. Alright, so
Or even just
mashed
adding
potatoes are
them-
called super potatoes. by
Super
the way.
potatoes.
That's what I call them in my notes.
So it's the cheese and then
It's like a very specific order of adding the ingredients. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you make the mashed potatoes and then you dice up the cheese
While it's
finely,
boiling.
and then
While the water's
So
boiling.
do you boil the potatoes in the water to make them, or do you boil water and then add the potatoes after?
I add the potatoes after.
Good. That's
Yeah.
the correct sequence. So yeah, you add the potatoes and the cheese at the same time.
Yeah. Throw
Stir
all
it
that
up really,
there.
really
Stir that
well.
all up.
Cover it so that it can sit for a second, and the cheese will melt. And then
Right before you consume, put the mayonnaise in.
and stir it again.
Eat
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Super potatoes.
Super
That I can
potatoes.
do. That I can do.
And then the instant like tomato sauce things with cheese and ramen. So it's like almost like a pizza
Instant
ramen.
tomato sauce.
Yeah, you can get these like packets of like spaghetti sauce packets that are like dried tomato powder, basically
Oh,
with some
interesting.
spices.
Yeah.
It doesn't have any they usually don't have any thickeners in them, so you have to also add some mashed potatoes to make it like saucy.
Yeah.
Oh, could it just be like
Otherwise, it would just
Tomato
be
water.
tomato.
It's tomato
Yeah,
water.
it's not great.
so what? So it's tomato, a little bit of mashed potato, and ramen
And cheese. And cheese.
and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh, that
little
sounds
cheese in there.
incredible.
Oh,
It does sound
cheese.
incredible.
Yeah, pretty much
Our
any excuse to
resupply-
throw cheese in there.
Oh,
Our
I pack
resupply
out
is
like
changed right now.
lots of cheese.
Well, I tried
Fat
at
is
the
what you need,
I
right?
tried
Yeah,
at the beginning
yeah.
and it's just like it go bad so quick.
Yeah, in the
It's only
heat,
since
it
we
goes
got to
so
Maine that I
bad.
started
Here,
carrying.
yeah.
But now we have like that. We have like a jalapeno or like pepper jack cheese, and it's really good.
Yum, 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 yum.
Actually, we got it at Stratton.
Stratton, at that grocery store.
Or no, Coop.
Well, I mean, I got I went through that one at
Not Coop.
Carrot Town.
I keep on Carrot Town. That's what
I went through that one and I got one at Strat.
That's right. You did.
Because that's just cheese.
You did.
Cheese.
All right, I'm gonna make my actual literal steel can of chili right now.
You packed out a steel
She did.
That's
She's
how
like, I'm
desperate I am.
doing it. And I'm
That's
like,
how desperate I am to switch things up. I packed out a fucking can. I've
It
been
weighs a
carrying it for
pound.
3
I was
days.
listening to your food thing. And I was like, that sounds grim.
I know. I've needed to switch things up.
I mean, the
for so
pad
long.
thai ramen is pretty good.
that one's pretty
Oh
good.
my God.
That's like, she was just like, I'm gonna figure it out. She did. I was like, that's really good.
Yeah, my pad thai ramen is like nice simple.
Yeah, I'm really fucking lazy at the end of the day, and so I never want to do stuff that has that many steps.
I feel that. I feel that.
Are you one of those pad thai like good to go meals?
Which
I'm
ones
talking
are
about,
those?
like,
Oh,
it's-
the
it's
good
not-
chicas? What do you think of that brand?
Dude, I can't stand. Like,
I have never
I can't
did
stand,
that,
like,
and it was fucking awful.
Yeah, like Mountain House and like all of those, like all
Really?
like the prepackaged
Mountain
meals. or
House.
whatever.
I don't hate Mountain
I
House.
like Mountain
Just
House.
me personally,
I think Backpacker's Pantry is the best one, though.
They're
I
good.
haven't had any of that.
I don't love all of Mountain House. There's definitely a few that I'm like, whatever on, but there's a few that I'm like, this is the best thing I ever put in my body.
Him and breakfast scrambles. Oh my
Like
god.
Oh, fuck yeah, those are good.
Those are so good.
Although I find that the ones with cheese in them never rehydrate properly. Like the 3 cheese mac and cheese one. Like
I've not had that one.
Don't do it.
Don't bother with it.
And like, I find that the ones that are like mimicking foods that I'm not that familiar with, I find taste better.
Oh, interesting.
Because
that
I'm
actually
not
makes a lot of sense because
expecting
you're not
anything.
expecting something. You're like, but you're having like, oh, this is not ramen that
Yeah.
I've been eating for 5 days.
And
So.
it's, well, or like foods that I'm like, I don't have an ideal version of this food in my head. So like the chana masala one definitely doesn't taste like chana masala, but it's pretty good. Spicy chickpeas, sure. And like the pad thai backpackers pantry is pretty good. I found that the lasagna at Mountain House is good, but it's not
Lasagna's real
lasagna.
good. Yeah.
It's like noodles and tomato, but
Yeah, it's not lasagna, but it's whatever it is, it's delicious.
yeah, my very favorite one at the moment, and it's kind of hard to find, is one called Three Sisters Stew, which is quinoa and rice and black beans and zucchini and corn.
This is a mountain house?
And it's like got all it's based on like a traditional Native American stew, and so like the spices are not what you're expecting, and I'm sure it tastes absolutely nothing like the actual Three Sisters stew, but it's delicious. And it's got like the rehydrated corn and rehydrated zucchini. It like tastes so good if you haven't eaten vegetables in a while.
That's what's funny, 'cause, like, I'm not even a zucchini guy. Like, I'm not like.
I don't like zucchini.
I don't like
either.
it, but like right now, a zucchini sounds so good.
I made you like olive oil,
I'm
salt,
okay
pepper.
on zucchini, but
If you bake it, it's pretty good.
it's okay.
Those thin slices. All right. So how much aluminum will leach from this can if I?
You'll
Dude,
probably be fine.
you're gonna live through it.
Yeah,
Just-
no, babe, boil the water first.
No, of course I'm gonna boil the water first.
Then nothing's gonna leach. You're fine.
Sorry for the dark imagery earlier from the shelter. That's where I was sitting, trying to pick up bits of conversation so you had an idea of what got talked about. One part there was a girl who lives in Whistler. I can't remember her name now, her trail name. Anyway, she's done quite a bit of hiking. Very expert. She does like 30 plus miles a day when she can. And she's very fit. Talks about how she eats a lot of cheese and beef, like beef jerky, like half a bag of the large bags at lunch and that type of thing, and a lot of resupply. Doesn't like Cliff Bars anymore, I can understand, but she does a lot of walking, a lot. She tends to be from here at the 240, 50 mile mark. She's going to do the whole trail going south in 61 or 2 days. And she's got to average something like 20 miles a day or something like that, or more than that. Anyway, it has stopped raining. It's just free rain now, I think, which is what the prediction was, which means that tomorrow will probably be nicer, sunnier, but everything will be wet, so I'll have wet feet for sure. Get whacked by the trees. Most of the people here are southbound, and they get up at like 5:30 and hit the trail by 6:15 or 6:30. So I guess I'll be getting up early. Well, I want to get up early anyway because I've got like a 21-mile day to get to that shelter beyond the two, I think they're called the Saddleback Mountains and a ridge line. So reminiscent of Mount Washington in a way. You're exposed to ridge line, and there's a warning about doing it in bad weather, which is why I didn't do it today. And anyway, get at the shelter. Then it'll probably be raining after that. I think it's the day after that I get into the next town where I will possibly just resupply or stay at a hostel for a night. I understand I only need maybe like 2 days worth of food after that to get to the river crossing where they have the hostel, which is probably maybe even better to go rather than staying in the town, and resupplying there. And I'm not sure how much further before after that until we get to the 100-mile wilderness, where I have to pack at least minimum 5 days, probably 6 days worth of food to get me through to, I'm not sure, I think the Bigelows are in the 100-mile wilderness. Anyway, they were talking about it. Apparently it's a bit of a tough slog too. It's not flat, so definitely got some hills in front of me. And the weather, well, a lot of them walked in the rain today. Some of them didn't wear raincoats, but they were certainly chilled. The temperature low 50s. Expecting better tomorrow. So I'll just be wearing what I've got on now, which was the, t-shirt, shorts, and have my raincoat handy on the top of the back when I need it, when I get into an exposed area, if I do. Yeah, I'm hoping for the best. I need to get going. I'm, getting taken a zero here and falling behind everybody. It's not a race, but you know what I mean. I like to sum it with people I know. And it's unlikely. I mean, K-Town could be like 4 or 5 days ahead of me, in Sovereign 2 or 3 days, and others on the crew, they're at least a day, if not two. Two in front of me, I'm sure. Because I zeroed today. And, Fudge, it's like the day ahead of me. Oh, I'll see when I bump into people again. But, anyway, it's a nice group of people, good conversation, interesting. Very experienced people, done the PCT and CDT and Montana Trail, I think, and which is what the girl from BC has done. And, anyway, I'll go back and listen to some more stories.